it doesn't matter what CRM you use. Like right now, when you look at what's going on in, the world, right? It's not just, North America, this is worldwide, is I don't think there's been a more important time in the industry that you need to have your contacts in one place, right? You need to have a system in place, and that relationships right now are more important than ever before. Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's 100% what like we're about, is like, how do we help the industry build these long-standing beneficial relationships that are there long-term, not short-term.
That's a good point. And so what are you seeing are some of the things that people are doing right now with their CRMs?
Yeah, with their CRMs right now is my biggest one is, I think there's really two parts. One is, I think you need to, before you even look at the CRM, is educate yourself with the impact of COVID-19 in your local market, right? Really educate yourself on the impact that's having on the people in your database, right? And then the next thing is reach out and say hi and check in. Like what our customers are doing right now is they're calling as many people as they can to check in on them and see how they can help them.
Yeah.
And even my own realtor, I mean, it's like we talk about this stuff, and then when you see it in the real world, my own realtor who we bought this place that I'm living in right now 6 years ago, he sent a text to my wife yesterday. Hey, how's it going?
That's
Just checking
awesome.
in. Do you need anything? And I think when you think about what's going on right now, people are looking for people to talk to, right? And I think the more times you can say hi, it's going to pay dividends in the future.
Hey, can I mention something speaking of that?
Yeah.
So I did a webinar previously and before this, and one of the guys said he's from New York State, and Cuomo really like threw the hammer down there, not just shelter in place, but realtors aren't even allowed to cold call. Like they can't call for new business, right?
Right.
And he's concerned about that. And I'm like, dude, I go, now is the time to pour into people that pour into your database, pour into your past clients and friends and family. The fact that you can't cold call, it shouldn't even be a blip on your radar. Like, be somebody to someone who might need you, because that's going to leave a big impact. Like you just said, your agent from 6 years ago texted your wife to see how she was doing. That's a huge lasting impression. So that's the pivot we need to start doing now. With companies with companies that are like, let me think, like Open Door, right? For instance, they're pulling back, right, from buying homes. And so when you start seeing that, it's a complete window to opportunity, because now as agents we can connect with our current and past clients on a deeper level.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. And I would also add, you have their attention right now. They're listening, right? And, it's often you hear, it's like, man, I'm sure you guys hear it too. It's like, man, Keith, I've called like 50 people and no one wants to talk, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you call 50 people, how many are you talking to?
Well, it's a little higher, but what we're also noticing, because we're doing this every day, is that most people still want the text over calling. And I think you need to shift there as well, because they're with their families now. They don't want to pick up a call. They don't recognize it. But the approach that we're taking is a little softer. And I know most people have shifted. If not, it's time to shift. And the approach should be somewhere along the lines as, if you're calling your sphere, it should be, hey, this is Tristan with Keller Williams Realty. We're reaching out to all of our friends and past clients just to see how things are going. How are you? Right? And that's all. And just let them take it from there. It could even be softer than that. Hey, this is Tristan, just reaching out to see how you're doing in this community, because this is where I live too, if they're close. And just let them talk. And if they say, great, I'm doing great, and then they start saying more things along the line, just shut up and listen if you're on the phone, because a lot of people just need to be listened to right now. And they don't want to talk about real estate. What we are finding is, though, the past clients and the sphere that we are reaching out to, they naturally bring up real estate for the most part. What they're saying to us, the number one question is, well, Tristan, thanks for calling, man. Yeah, we're fine. But what's happening out there with real estate? How are buyers and sellers doing? And so our responsibility as real estate agents is to understand our local markets, to say, hey, this is happening. So what we're doing, and I suggest that you do the same thing if you're listening in, is we're running what's called a rolling 7, where we're going back 7 days to see what's been active, what's pending, what's sold, just all the information locally that's more quick rather than back 2-3 months, and it doesn't really matter what the market looked like then, right?